Hey YouTube, this is NOZ482 here with another Yu-Gi-Oh video. This time it's a deck profile, just a deck profile, nothing too special. We're talking Lavals today. Now Lavals are basically the rebirth of synchros. You can sync a lot with them. You use Rekindling after you dump Tender and, well, or Handmaiden. Let's just start at the beginning. Let's start at the basics. Okay, first off, you want 3 Battle Fader. Not a lot of defense in this deck except for Fader. Plus, it's level 1, allows you to sync for formula with your 1-star tuner, your Handmaiden. Alright, next you run 1 BLS because you can control the lights and darks you have in Grave through syncing, and you will sometimes normal summon Battle Fader. Now you're running 3 card D. You got to draw. Basically, you need to draw your combo pieces or you are done. There's nothing you can do. It's not super consistent. It's a fun deck. Allows you to sync, but you need the cards for that. In fact, you're not really going to play monsters unless you're ready to win. Next, you have 3 Veiler, Lights, 1-star Spellcasters. You need 3 in this meta. You know what it does. Gore is more defense. Plus, he's 7, so you can sink into 8s with Handmaiden and Veiler. Next, you get to your actual Lavals. You have Laval Cannon, okay, 4-star Warrior. When this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one of your banished Lavals. Special summon that target. You should probably go for maybe 2 of these, and then run 3 Cannoneer. We'll get to Cannoneer in a second. 1600 Warrior, not bad. Well, he really shines when you combine him with Lakeside Lady, or if you've already dropped a Rekindling and your Lavals are banished. You then normal summon him, and then you use Lakeside Lady, and then you get to sync 7. How does Lakeside Lady get banished? Well, if this card is in your graveyard and you have 3 or more Laval monsters with different names in your graveyard, you can banish this card and another Laval monster from your graveyard to target one set card your opponent controls. Destroy that target. Helps you clear back row. Plus, level 3 tuner. That's important. So you banish it and, I don't know, say Handmaiden, and then boom, pop a back row. And then you summon Cannon, get whatever tuner you need. Then you have Laval Magma Cannoneer, which I should probably run 3 of. He has 200 defense. He's rekindleable, unlike Laval Cannon, who has 900. Now, up to twice per turn, you can send 1 fire monster from your hand to grave, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. Easy burn damage, loads your grave for rekindling. This is a very grave reliant deck. If your opponent has macro or fissure, you're pretty much screwed. That's why you run 3 MST. Next, you have Laval Volcano Handmaiden. This thing allows you to dump 5 cards from their version of Foolish Burial, Magma, or Sweltering Heat Transmission Field. In America, it's going to be called Molten Transmission Field. When this card is sent to the graveyard, if you have a Laval monster in your graveyard other than Laval Volcano Handmaiden, you send 1 Laval from your deck to grave. So here's what you do. Play Sweltering Heat Transmission Field. Target Cannon or Cannoneer or Lakeside Lady. Lakeside Lady is probably your best bet. You dump Lakeside Lady, Handmaiden, which dumps you another Handmaiden, which dumps you another Handmaiden, and Cannoneer. And now, boom, you're ready to rekindle. You're ready to go off. Seeing that you do have quite a few level 1 monsters, it wouldn't be the worst idea in the world to run Galaxy Queen. Unfortunately, you don't really have enough space in the extra. Next, you go to your spells. You're only running 21 monsters, 19 spells, no traps. Not a lot of defense in this deck, like I said. 1 book, 1 dark hole, you know what that does. Gold Sarcophagus to get your Rekindlings, to get your Sweltering Heat Transmission Field, to get your combo pieces. 1 heavy, 1 reborn, triple MST. You really cannot allow your opponent to have any defense. If they solemn, your Rekindling, you're kind of screwed. Warning or Judgment, unless you happen to have another in hand, which is likely sometimes. And you have your 3 Duality because you're not special summoning unless you're going for game. Rekindling, this is what makes the deck work. Special summon from your graveyard as many fire monsters as possible with 200 defense. During the end phase, remove from play all monsters that were special summoned by this effect. Set Cannon, Well, actually, you can't use Cannon. That's what you should. Tell you what, let me just chop him out here. Cannoneer. Yeah, there you go. So you set Cannoneer, or you play Cannoneer. It's 1700. It's not bad. And gets killed or whatever. Then you rekindle. Who cares? Then you have your Sweltering Heat Transmission Field, which is like Foolish Burial on steroids, but it's only for Lavals. Next you have your Extra. This is where the deck gets its power. This deck revolves around getting your synchros out as quickly as possible, swarming the opponent. You have your Formula Synchron, allows you to get more advantage, very easy to get. Fader and either Veiler or Tender, or Handmaiden. It's called Tender in Japan. Armory Arm, you can get your 4s, Lakeside Lady, Fader. Alright, now you get to your 5s. You have Librarian, you're synchro summoning so much, it's likely that you'll be able to plus multiple times off of this, plus this is dark, these are lights. That's very important to note. Then you have Laval Dual Slasher. The Laval don't come until later. Big Boy, 24, Warrior, 1 tuner, 1 or more fires. So you can even use your Veilers, you can use your Handmaidens for your Cannoneer and on your cannon. So this guy, when there's 2 or more Lavals, he can attack defense position monsters again in a row, and if it attacks a defense position monster, it gets Piercing. This thing completely destroys Reaper. Like, well, it doesn't destroy it per se, but your opponent is not safe if they have Reaper, Gel and Duo, or anything like that. Well, probably not Gel and Duo since it's going to be in face-up attack, but it works against Reaper. And Arcana Force the Fool. Then you have our 5, probably one of our best things in the deck. This is our Hot Heat Fire version of Brionac. It's only level 5 too. 200 attack, doesn't matter. Shuffle 2 Lavals from your graveyard to your main deck. Target 1 card your opponent controls, return it to hand. There's no limitation on this. As long as you have Lavals, you can in your grave, you can just return them, get rid of them. You have your 2 6s, Brionac, you know what this does, and then Laval Dragon Gun. 25 attack, once per turn, add a Laval from your deck to hand, then send a Laval from your hand to grave. Even the thing you added from your deck to hand, you can send Handmaiden, then send all 3 of your Handmaidens, stuff like that. Big beater, I like it. Then you have your 2 7s, Black Rose Dragon, standard, you know what this does, nukes the field. Then you have Stenin, which is cannon on steroids. 27 attack, when this card is synchro summoned, send 1 card from your hand to the grave. That's not bad though, because during either player's turn when this card is targeted by a card effect, so that's like Book of Moon, let's say Dimensional Prison, what else targets that's important? Well, it's a card effect. So say you attack into Snowman Eater. Say your opponent uses Raigeki Break. Anyways, you can banish a Laval from your graveyard to negate the activation and destroy it. Very good. Big boy, 27. Then you have your 8, Scrap Dragon. Needs a reprint. I already have mine, so it doesn't matter, but it's a good card. Stardust. And then you got your Red Dragon Archfiend. Why do you have Red Dragon Archfiend? Well, it's 3k. It's pretty big. Helps against Chaos Dragons, but also because you're running Nova. Here's why. Level 1, level 3. Now you get Nova. It's more consistent to get out Nova than it is to get out Quasar. Then you have your 1/9 Mistworm. Happens from time to time. And then you have Utopia, just to, I guess, buy some time, you know. Cannon and Cannoneer. You don't want to use Gem Knight Pearl because it doesn't detach immediately. So you want to detach probably your Cannoneer and then, you know, set up your Rekindling Place. Then on the side you have 2 DD Crow, 2 Snowmen, Thunder King Ryo. You know what these cards do. They're basic side deck cards. Soul Taker, good against Shining, good against Light Pulsar. Chain D, good against Zectors. Zectors actually have a difficult time against us unless they're playing D-Fissure, because we don't commit to the field until we're ready to go. Dust Tornado, and there's very little they can do to stop them, or to stop us. Dust Tornado, need more ways to get rid of defense. Roll Decree, if your opponent's using a lot of traps, hey, throw Decree in there. It's not like you're running any traps. And then you have your 2 Torrential. If your opponent's playing windups or is able to outpace you, it's what you want to do. So that's it for this video. This has been my Laval Synchro deck. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm NOZ482, wishing you happy dueling, okay? Peace.